What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. It is time for the UMDisblind Season 2 Second Chance Night footage. As always, I'm your host, Stephen Mailing. And now, like I said in the last episode, Second Chance Night is basically the producer's way of giving everybody on the show a second chance, maybe at getting more matches and possibly getting a successful match here on the show. Now, what we did was, again, as I said in the last episode, we took people who had 3 or less dates. We gave them the option to either opt in or opt out and keep their matches that they had into Second Chance Night. And if they came in a second chance, now obviously you're going to see them up on this video tonight. Now we're going to be seeing Winnie, we're going to be seeing Kronk, we're going to be seeing Celeste, we're going to be seeing Margaret, we're going to be seeing a couple, all familiar faces of course. But anyways, let's get right down to it. Let's see what Second Chance Night had to bring to the show.
Before we get into, like a real conversation, I actually did hold up to what I said to you in the lounge the other day. And I did write a poem if you would like to hear it.
With Margot. And I was so glad she was there because that's I had the poem written for her. I would have been devastated if I had written that and not being able to say it.
Oh, sure.
Uno wrote me a poem, and
All right, here it goes. Uno momento, por favor. Listen to what I have in store.
In the end, like I said, I felt like it was now or never. In the words of Troy Bolton, this is the last time to get it right. This is the last chance to make it happen.
I thought we'd match the first time. You seemed like you were a dime. Me, on the other hand, I guess not.
well, I mean, it was sweet, a little cheesy. It was sweet though.
Forgive me now, please, or I will rot. To say the least, I wasn't prepared. As a matter of fact, I was scared.
But I also was super like, wow, this was based on a 5-minute conversation, and this man's is writing me a poem. I just, like...
I had to say all this now, Margot. There's just no telling how far I'll go.
I had to do it. I would have felt so bad, especially if we didn't match.
Now that I have a second chance, may I have this 10-minute dance?
Oh, that was so good.
Is this romantic or is Uno coming on too strong? Please let us know.
It was just a little too intense for me.
Well, there's your answer, folks.
I definitely think he's a sweet person. I think that I would love to be friends with him. I think we would have really great discussions.
I still don't know if we match, and that's what's really on my mind right now.
But yeah, I was a little like, I'm sorry, like this is a little too much.
What's your type? What would you say your type of man is? Celeste, I had a fantastic conversation. Like, it was deep. We were getting like stuff that we just did not have time for with the 5 minutes. We talked about like what we like our type of people and like
My type of man. I would say my type of man is definitely like a guy that is unapologetically themselves, very authentic, outspoken, very funny.
My combo with Kronk was like probably one of the best combos that I've had so far.
I feel like that they always like have like a good like head on their shoulders, and that they like to like joke and play around and have fun, but they also like kind of know like when it's time to kind of be be real and like and serious about stuff. But
we both like kind of see like relationships, it needs to be like teamwork up from both sides to like achieve like a higher purpose, whether like financial security or just in the future, like if you want to raise kids, just like hypothetically.
Most of the time I like a guy that is just like very, very fun, very, very real with themselves like and others, and just generally likes to be a good person to be around, a nice, all well-rounded person.
I just really liked automatically his voice. I like guys that are very confident and like speak very like prophetic, you know, when they talk.
I must admit, you were on my match list after the first round.
So I talked to Matt first, and he, like, I originally had him on my list in the first, after the first round. He was in my top 5, and so I told him, I said, I'm gonna be, like, honest with you, like, I put you on my list.
Yeah, you were very close to mine. It's just I wanted to say yes to almost everyone.
I feel that.
So it was really, really hard to narrow it down. And
He didn't really elaborate, but I think, like, I was close to his list, and we just kind of both established that it's difficult to make these snap judgments. And I think this conversation, it was longer and probably a little less nerve-wracking.
yeah, I only ended up talking to one person, actually, so I guess I chose poorly.
Well, me too. So I guess I did the same.
First, I talked with Margarita. This one was a great conversation. We both, in the end, said yes to each other.
I joined cross country, and it was like super unexpected for me because I was never like the majorly athletic type, and I hated running. But that was something that definitely like changed my life, at least like in high school, because it was like this big group of people, and it was like an instant family.
We both turned out to run cross country, which was pretty cool. We were in high school, both really liked our teams, thought they were like a family to each other, and I think that we definitely could bond over that.
Yeah, I did cross country in high school too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I agree completely with everything you said. That was definitely, that would be my second place thing. But
Yes.
My thing in high school was cross country, and he said, oh, I ran cross country too. And I was like, okay, so there was way more in common than I thought.
I'm good. How did your weekend go?
I don't know what was with the universe, but the universe said, it's told me, it whispered in my ear, Uno again. And I was like, Lord, I don't know, like every time I'm like, you know, having my ifs within like talking to Uno, I just get like that reverse card and like I'm back to talking to him again, and I'm like,
Did you say week or weekend?
Well, yes.
This is our third conversation. She was my only match from after the first round, and I don't know. I think we've kind of plateaued since from the first to the second to the third conversation.
I guess both. It's so long.
Yeah, I mean, it seemed to go by like pretty slow. Like it seems like it's been a lot longer than a week since we last talked. But
about the ideal date, and I was like, dog, this is like the third time you said this, and this was like already like post him like saying that he like wrote a poem for Margarita, and I was like, where was my poem? Why'd I get like the same story of like talking about your ideal first date when like I got no thought?
yeah, definitely. Like I was talking to one of my friends the other day, like if I didn't like have any value for my family or my friends, like I would honestly just move to like some other country, maybe like New Zealand, because I was just there and they've been doing pretty well in handling the pandemic.
And most of what we talked about was very general, nothing too specific.
I really like hearing your voice. I really liked our first date. I'm glad we got. I really liked the second chance. Like the second they told me about, like I was thinking about like, and I found out that I didn't make your top 5. I really wanted to like talk to you again and see if I could maybe like crack the top 3.
And you know, Kronk seems like a really nice guy.
Oh, yeah. No, you're great. I liked talking to you last time. I mean, you kind of threw me off with some of your questions, like, because I don't know, the questions were just like, they were so, I guess, specific, and I couldn't think about any, like, alternative.
Exactly. We were not hitting it off the same way we were the first night. It was definitely a tale of two nights, like night and day. like I was just trying to like not have the generic conversation and also just even like make it fun for you.
It's funny because he had told me he chose me. He picked me as his top 5, but I didn't pick him.
Like not only like the people watching, but like most importantly you, because like where are you from? What's your favorite childhood memory?
Boring.
It wasn't bad, but we were not like the rhythm wasn't there.
But you gotta like ease into that stuff. And also like me, I really am like, I struggle with coming up with things like on the spot when it comes to like, what's your favorite book? What's your favorite movie?
But yeah, I did not select him. And I feel really bad because I hate letting people down, but I just don't see us connecting. And I would hate for us to go through the entire match and like go through the entire process and then like I not really talk to him.
I'm good. How have you been? It's been a while since we talked.
It has.
The backup was really fun. I was really glad that he came back on the show. I was kind of teasing him a lot about that. So it was kind of funny. But
It's been a while since I've talked to anybody.
Yeah, I was like, glad you're back.
Again.
Yeah, I had a ton of fun.
Before we continue, we'd like to apologize for the backup's use of portrait mode and not landscape mode for recording purposes. Anyways.
I'm back again.
So, how's your days been going? What have you been doing since the departure? No, I'm just kidding. But like, what have you been doing?
But we ended up talking about a lot of good stuff, and I was like, you know what? It's a yes to me. And needless to say, it was also a yes. And I was like, yes.
Now that's going to do it for tonight's mini episode of UMD is Blind. Now, again, for all the producers and cast here of UMD is Blind, I'd like to thank you for joining us today. Please stay tuned because episode 4 is going to be dropping very, very soon. And we are very, very close to that face reveal. So let us know who you ship in the comments because it is getting closer and closer to the final day of UMD is Blind. Now, obviously, we've had a couple eliminations, and the eliminations are going to keep rolling in as the episodes keep dropping. So really, stay tuned in, turn on your notifications, subscribe to our YouTube, and stay clocked into this show because this one's a roller coaster, and you're not going to want to get off until the end of the ride. So stick with us. We'll see you next time.